Are you preparing to be a first-time manager at work and wondering how to motivate your team members or your direct report effectively? Are you starting your own venture and you're confident of your topic and your skills, but you're wondering, how do I build a company with highly motivated and productive employees? Or maybe you've been a manager or a team leader for a while, but you're seeing a lack of motivation in your team. Despite good hours and good pay and strong incentives to drive performance, you're scratching your head and wondering why things aren't any better. Well, I've been through this journey myself, and I've been fascinated with the concept of what motivates people at work and how we can help bring the best out of our teams and, by extension, also ourselves. In my research, I've come across an astonishing and counterintuitive revelation. What if I told you that money doesn't really motivate people beyond a point? Before you throw your wallet at me, let me explain. I've read a lot of fascinating research on this topic, including but not limited to the HBR article by Frederick Hertzberg and what I consider to be one of the best talks on the subject which helped shape my thinking, Dan Pink's TED Talk on motivation, which I highly recommend you watch, by the way. Combining a lot of learnings from this research with my own experiences, I believe the secret trick to motivation lies in 5 simple words. This is science-backed. It's been proven over and over again in experiments by renowned researchers at institutions like MIT and Stanford, and it has earth-shattering implications on how we motivate our teams, but also ourselves. And today, I'd love to tell you about them. Hi guys, my name is Akshay Goenka, and the team on this channel has been privileged to learn the art of building motivated teams by working at the most prestigious firms in the world and by founding and building fast-growing startups driven by motivated and passionate teams. This channel is meant to be a practical guide to productivity, purpose, and peace for working professionals. So do hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon to make sure you keep getting notified about all of the new ideas to transform your professional lives. Right, so back to it. Before we dive into the 5-part secret to motivation, let's quickly talk about the misconceptions in motivation that tend to plague our workplace today. I'm sure you've noticed that the most common way for leaders to motivate their teams is to use money. These are what we call if-then rewards. If you do more of this, then we'll reward you with that. The that in this case being overtime pay or bonuses or a higher salary. The problem is that research has shown that these if-then rewards work fine for certain kind of mechanical and repetitive tasks, but not as well for cognitive tasks that requires creativity and problem solving. Mechanical tasks like accounting or filing or even customer support can be incentivized well with financial incentives to a much larger extent than cognitive tasks that require you to think outside the box. For example, data analysis or content creation or advertising or consulting. All of these are examples of cognitive tasks. To bring this to life, let me tell you about an experiment that Dan Pink refers to in his video as well. This classic experiment involves giving 2 groups of people a candle, some thumbtacks, and some matches. And the task is simple: attach the candle to the wall so it doesn't drip onto the table. Now, as you can imagine, some people try to thumbtack the candle onto the wall, which doesn't work. Some other people try to melt the candle onto the wall, which also doesn't work. And they're not able to immediately think of the creative way to solve this problem. What do you think the answer can be? Leave a comment down below to guess before I reveal it in the next section. Well, the answer, as some of you might have guessed, involves a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking. It includes not looking at that matchbox as a way to light the matchstick, but instead as a holder for the candle. The solution is simple. Put the matches away and look at it like a candle holder which you can thumbtack onto the wall. Now, Sam Glucksberg, who was a professor at Princeton University, ran an experiment where he had 2 groups of people try to solve this problem, and he incentivized one group to solve it faster and promised a generous amount of money as a reward. The other was left as is. But to his shock, he found that the group that was incentivized by the money actually did a lot worse. He was able to recreate these results over and over again in subsequent experiments. People who were paid more to solve this problem were typically worse at doing it. What does this mean? It means that motivating people with financial incentives made them put blinders on and try to bulldoze their way to the end of this problem quickly, and hence blocking out the creativity that needs to flow to do it. Other research and experiments, including by some of the leading academics and thinkers of our time, like Dan Ariely, who teaches behavioral economics at Duke, and other researchers at the London School of Economics, have shown the same thing in their experiments. Cognitive tasks involving creativity and problem solving do not work well under monetary rewards-based incentives. Now, I want to caveat that this is not to say in any way that money is not important or has absolutely no link to motivation. It does. Money in the form of your salary or your compensation or your bonus is both the key to the life that you want to live and be able to afford, and also a reflection of your worth and your expertise to your employer. And in so many ways beyond that, it's something that we all value. But the message to take away is, when you're thinking about motivating people beyond a certain point for cognitive tasks and creative tasks, this research is saying that money will not lead to better outcomes. To perform their best and apply creative thinking, individuals need more than money. So, what else can we give them? What is that secret sauce that helps create highly motivated individuals as part of teams? After all my research and experience on this topic, I think that there are 5 things: autonomy, recognition, community, mastery, and purpose. Wait, what? Let me explain one by one. But before I do, why don't you get a paper and a pen, or open up a blank note on your phone or your laptop and write these 5 words down, and add your thoughts on how you can apply these concepts to your teams and your direct reports as I describe each one, which will make it so much more real and have something meaningful for you at the end of this video. All set? Let's go. First, autonomy. Autonomy is a sense of self-direction and control over what you do. It comes from a deeper urge that all of us share to direct our own lives, to feel like we're doing something that's of our own, to feel like we have control over both what we do and how and when we do it. And great organizations are able to provide just that. Take Google, for example, which has the famous 20% rule, where for 1/5 of each day, they pay their employees to do whatever they want. Now, you might immediately think, bah, waste of money, people will just chill. And you're right. Some, of course, might use this time to relax and do nothing. And if you've ever been to a Google office, trust me, there's a lot of places to relax. But many others will use this time to drive their passion and innovate, and boom, some of the best known products like Gmail were born from this very initiative. Now, this shows the value of allowing people the first part of what we said autonomy was, what they do and the ability to direct it themselves. As for the second part, on how and when and where they do it, it's no secret that in today's post-pandemic world, the ability to choose when to work from home, what hours to work, and the general sense of flexibility are becoming important indicators of autonomy, and even a job criteria that people are using in picking what they want to do. Now, as you reflect on this and write it down, think about how you can create a balance of autonomy for your team or your direct report. How can you help them play a part in directing what they do, how they do it, and when they do it to drive motivation? Second, recognition. Recognition is a combination of appreciation and career advancement. Appreciation is receiving credit for your work and its positive impact on shared goals. The great American philosopher William James once said, "The deepest craving of human nature is to be appreciated." Read that again. The deepest craving of human nature is simply to be appreciated. It's a piece of timeless wisdom that I don't think we use enough in the workplace today. A Glassdoor study found that more than 80% of employees said that they are more motivated to work hard when appreciated by their boss or their superior. The Harvard Business Review has written extensively about the impact of appreciation on morale and on motivation, and especially relevant, timely appreciation ideally in a public setting. Appreciation should also be accompanied with the second part of recognition, career advancement and growth. As employees work hard to deliver impactful outcomes, it's key to be recognized with being given additional responsibility or a leadership role or a promotion to the next level. Without this growth, people don't feel challenged or don't feel like they're moving forward towards their goals. Now, as you take notes on providing recognition in the form of appreciation or in the form of advancement for your team, think about tangible situations or examples where you could appreciate the work that they're doing, especially publicly. Did they send in a good report that you can copy senior leaders on and thank them for? Have they gone beyond the call of duty recently and delivered incredible outcomes that deserve a small celebration at maybe the next team dinner or the next team offsite? And on advancement, how can you help them set and achieve meaningful milestones for growth? Have you taken out time to do a development chat recently and set these milestones for them? What are some of the weaknesses or blockers that you see for them that can hold them back from the next promotion? And what role can you play to help them overcome that? How can you put all of these things we discussed together in a plan that you and them can execute together? Third, community. This word needs no explanation. It's a sense of belonging where you work. Not feeling connected to your coworkers and colleagues is cited by many studies as the key reason for people quitting and not feeling motivated. I mean, we spend 1/3 of our lives at work and a large part of our waking hours there as well. Feeling connected to these people that we spend all this time with is understandably crucial to feeling like you belong, and it gives you reason to keep wanting to come back. Now, as you write notes, think about the culture that you want to create to foster the sense of community and the kind of actions that you can take to help drive that. What events would you organize? What mentorship or buddy programs can help drive individual connectedness? How can you help people take time beyond the scope of work during meetings and not just start with allocating tasks or discussing action points, but taking time to discuss how people are feeling, the progress that they've made, their connectedness to the overall goal and vision and the role that they're playing in that. There are so many things that you can do, but making a list right now can help you start moving in that direction tomorrow. Fourth, mastery. Mastery is the desire to get better and better at something that truly matters. People don't just want to come into work every day and execute tasks. They want to come in and build personal skills and expertise and experience in something that truly matters. Take electric vehicles, for example. Arguably the next big thing in automotives for at least a decade, if not more, but also a key part to creating a cleaner and greener world for all of us. Now, for any technologist or engineer or environmentalist, being able to work at a company that helps them learn and build the skill of designing electric cars could be an example of building mastery in an area that matters both to them and in service of the vision that they're trying to achieve. As you reflect and write, think about your team or your direct reports and what these skills and areas of expertise could be for them. And if you don't know, what action are you going to take to find out tomorrow? Fifth, purpose. Purpose is working in the service of a greater goal. If you've ever watched Simon Sinek's talk on Start With Why, he beautifully explains this concept. He points out that most organizations know what they do, like making cell phones or planes, and they also know how they do it, which is their process or their proprietary formula, but very few people know why they do it. In fact, one of the companies which is doing a good job of this is Apple. They don't tell you in their ads that they make great cell phones with high RAM and memory and battery and hence you should buy it. They start with the why. They say, we care about making lives better across promoting health and privacy and diversity and community. And in the end, they loop it back to the product to say, all of this can be enabled with this beautiful product called the iPhone, which can help you live a healthier, happier, more private and more diverse life. And that's why you buy it. That's the message that lands. And similarly, That's why people work there. Apple doesn't tell an Apple Watch department employee that they design watches. They tell them that they are helping them disrupt the healthcare industry and that they are crucial to saving lives every day. To further strengthen this overall shared purpose, they don't celebrate tactical metrics like the number of watches sold, but instead they celebrate the stories of people's lives that were saved and improved through features that the Apple Watch has. And that's probably how their employees are able to design these incredible features like cardiac arrest detection and crash detection and helping women track their menstrual health and so many others. And that's why people want to work at Apple. Now, as you write notes, ask yourself if your narrative of the purpose of what you do to your team has been strong enough or even present at all. And if not, what could this narrative be for your specific situation and the work that you do to help excite and motivate your direct report or your team beyond just asking them to do good work and be rewarded for it. So there you have it. Autonomy, recognition, community, mastery, and purpose. Your 5-part secret to building productive and motivated teams. Before you switch from this video, take a minute to reflect on what you wrote down on your paper or your cell phone and how you're going to use this to shape the motivation levels of your team starting tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Do share your experiences, your learnings, and a reflection in the comments. I'd love to read them and react to them and also help use those to have our community grow and learn together. Thank you.